everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun scroll saw project video, have another amazing design by Steve Good, and it is another Halloween themed project. If you caught last Wednesday's video, I showed you how I do scroll saw prep work, and we're doing the project that we prepped in that video, and the project in question is a pumpkin-headed Halloween skeleton. This is real cool. It's made entirely out of 1/4-inch plywood. All the pattern is printed out and attached to our material with clear packing tape. And the assembly for this project is going to be real cool. It's going to use some basic zip ties. I picked up a pack at the dollar store here. That's what Steve used in his project, but you can also use wire or twine, whatever you prefer. I think this would be a great project to cut out and batch out and finish in several different ways. Since all of the project is ready and prepped, let's head over to the drill press, drill our pilot holes so we can come back to the scroll saw and start scrolling. And over here on the drill press, we are drilling all of the holes for the zip ties to go through, as well as the pilot holes for the pumpkin's face. Once all of the holes are drilled, we will move over to the scroll saw and begin scrolling, beginning with the pumpkin's face, which is the only piece that has internal cutting on this project. If you guys would like to try this pattern, it is available as a free pattern download over at Steve Good's scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com website over in his free pattern catalog. Getting all the internal cutting here done on the pumpkin's face, and then we will retension the blade and begin releasing all the pieces from the waste wood. I am using a number 5 reverse tooth scroll saw blade, and it's cutting exceptionally well on the single layers of plywood here, and it will also cut extremely well on the 2 stacked pieces of 1/4-inch plywood with minimal chip out, which is always good when it comes to sanding. It will just reduce sanding time, and that's always good when you have minimal chip out. Just taking my time and letting the blade do the work here. I'm not forcing it, I'm just essentially guiding it through the material. And if you have a variable speed scroll saw and you're curious, my speed on my scroll saw is between a 5 and 6. Now proceeding to do the stacked layers, which are the arms and legs. If you guys like what you're seeing, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. Links to all my social medias as well as ways to contact me are in the description box below. I'd really appreciate the support. Cutting out the final parts here. The skeleton's arms and hands. Not a very complex scroll saw pattern, and I believe it would be a great pattern if you're new to scrolling, because some of the parts are bigger and allow you to really learn to follow the lines. But now we will remove all the pieces from the waste wood here, and we can kind of get an idea of how the finished project is going to look. And he's almost 3 foot tall when fully assembled. But now we will sand the front and back of everything with 100 grit sandpaper in the palm sander. Like I said, that blade we used had minimal chip out, so sanding went by real quick. And then we will take Minwax wood stain and stain the front and back of everything, and I will put all the pieces on hooks and hang these up to dry, and I'll let them dry around an hour, hour and a half, and I'll do other things in the workshop while the parts are drying. My go-to wood stain has always been Minwax. But once all the pieces were dry, I was able to take them off all the hooks, and we can begin assembling. And I have a picture of the project fully completed on my phone, and to me it seemed like it took longer to attach all the zip ties and pull them through and cut them to length than it did to do the actual scroll work. But just going through here and assembling everything, I do think this would be a good project to do with the family. And you can leave the zip ties a little loose if you want to pose this pumpkin-headed skeleton.
I just had them all loosely tight, if that makes sense, to where I could bend the arms and legs and pose him if I want to. Like I said, it took me around 20 minutes to do this part right here, and the footage is obviously sped up. But once I have all the pieces done, I hung him on a hook again and finished him with several coats of Rust-Oleum clear gloss and let that dry around 2 hours, and the project was complete.
And here we have the completed pumpkin-headed Halloween skeleton that is fully articulated, cut out completely on the scroll saw, and it came out fantastic. Thank you, Steve Good, for another amazing design from your pattern catalog. Really, really cool. As I said, he is fully articulated, so you can actually pose him in a chair or have him where he's waving or something like that. But it's also cool because he can also fold flat once the Halloween season is over, and you can put him in a box for storage until the next Halloween season. It took me around 15 minutes to cut everything out on the scroll saw. It's not a very complicated pattern, and it honestly felt like it took me longer to connect and cut off all of the zip ties than it did to do the actual scroll work. Of course, you do not have to use zip ties. I use zip ties because Steve Good used it in his pattern pack, and that's just what I went with. It's what I had on hand and was easily available to me. Of course, you could use wire, and if you wanted to tie all the knots and give it an even more rustic vibe, you could put twine in here and would really tie in with the Halloween and autumn season. But really, really cool. A lot of ways to finish this and display it. Of course, I just stained it and finished it with clear coat in this video. That's just kind of my go-to standard when finishing wood projects, unless it's something really unique. Of course, you do not have to cut out the jack-o'-lantern's face. You could actually go in there if you're good with paints and paint a face on there. This pattern is several weeks old now on Steve's catalog, and I've seen people already cut it out and then do the charred edges with the torch, which is a really spooky look and really, really cool. I think you could stack cut a bunch of these and give these to a small classroom and have everyone paint it, and then have the teacher assemble everything and give as gifts. I think that would be really cool. And another thing I thought about while scrolling out this project, if you come from a large family, you could cut everything out and give a piece to each member of the family and have them paint it or decorate it in their own unique way and style, and then bring it all together and assemble it and have something to hang up every Halloween season that would have great memories attached to it. But really, really cool. I had fun making it, and Halloween draws ever, ever closer, and I hope you guys like watching me make it. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. Links to all my social medias, as well as ways to contact me, will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.